I'm Lisa, I'm the Barefoot Pampered Chef, and today we're going to do a couple of good recipes. So I've just started Weight Watchers, and I only have 12 more points left today, but I'm really hungry, so I want a really good meal. And so this is actually a new recipe for me. I'm really not a fish eater, but I really wanted to try ahi tuna, and we're going to do an ahi tuna taco with a mango and avocado salsa. So as I go through, I'm going to try to tell you exactly what points everything are, and we're going to make a couple of different side dishes as well. So the very first thing that we're going to do is I have 2 4-ounce ahi tuna steaks. So each one of these is 1 point. So I have 2 points right here. I'm going to throw out a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper just on both sides to season those up. And I've already got my pan over here pretty hot, and I have put on there just some pan spray because it's no calories and no fat, and it will help me to kind of avoid cooking these in oil. So I've got them salt and peppered. Now one of our side dishes is going to go in the pan with these. So I want my pan nice and hot so it'll make a sound when I put in my tuna steaks. And these are going to cook for approximately 3 minutes on each side because you don't want them to go too far. So we're going to put these on 3 minutes for a timer. And then what we're going to do, let me get out something to flip them with when I need to. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually do a side dish in the same pan. So what I have in here is I have just diced pineapple. Now pineapple on Weight Watchers is 0 points because it's a fruit. And we're going to add 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. So this is kind of like a side dish dessert. I'm going to pop the lid back on this and shake these up really quick. And then we're going to saute these in the same pan next to our ahi tuna. It's okay if the juices hit the tuna, it's just going to add more flavor to the tuna. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make our salsa. So I've got my fit board, because you need a fit board when you make salsa. I don't know why, it's just fun that way. So I've got my manual processor. We're going to put in 1/2 of an onion, which is 0 points. We're going to put in a whole mango, again, 0 points. And then we're going to put in an avocado. Now an avocado is points. It's actually 8 points for a whole avocado. Yes, it is a vegetable, but it is a very, very fatty vegetable. So it's good fat, but it does count as points. So we're also going to put in this a little bit of lemon juice. Let me check my recipe here. You can put in a jalapeno, or you can use lime instead of lemon. I just happen to be allergic to lime, so I'm just going to use lemon. And I don't really like jalapenos. So we're going to put this lid on. Make sure it's all clicked in. And then we're going to go to town. I'm going to try to do this so we're exercising as we're cooking. Now you don't want to do this with something really hot, so I don't want to do this while I'm doing the tuna. But my fit board, I've got my waist action going. And it's kind of like patting your head and rubbing your tummy all at the same time. But it really gets you going. So this needs a little bit more mixing. We've got about 10 seconds left on those on that side. So that timer's done. We're going to turn that timer off for a second, and we're going to flip these steaks over. And because I have my pan nice and hot, they've got nice sear marks on them. I'm just going to kind of give these pineapple a little shake. Okay, so we've got our salsa made, and then we're going to mix that up a little bit more. But the next thing that I'm going to make is called a roasted eggplant. It's kind of like a sauce. So I've already got one eggplant in here. What I did was on a cookie sheet, I just put 2 eggplants whole, and I roasted them at 400 degrees for 30 minutes. So they're nice and soft. This one's still really hot. I am going to cut this in half. And the flesh should come off fairly easily. And I'm going to put this in my bowl. If the flesh doesn't come off completely easily, you may need to roast it for a little bit longer, or you possibly may need a little knife. Some of these are a little fibrous. Now, eggplant is a vegetable, and as a vegetable, it is 0 points. So this actual dip, this whole roasted eggplant dip, is technically 0 points. However, one of the items does have points attached to it, and I'll show you that in a second. But we're using so little, and it's so negligible, that it doesn't really seem to matter that much. So I'm just going to get all of this roasted eggplant. Woo! It's just really hot. Peeled off of its skin here. And put into this bowl. And then, as usual, I put the whole thing into my garbage sink. So I've got all of this lovely eggplant in here. Now, along with that eggplant, I roasted a whole head of garlic. So you just cut the tops off of it and pop that in the oven right alongside your eggplant. And again, roasted garlic is a 0, so that's 0 calories. We're going to add a little bit more of our lemon juice, which again is 0 calories. That's about the juice of a lemon. And then to this, we're going to add 3/4 of a teaspoon of cumin, 1½ teaspoons of Hungarian paprika, and I've got some parsley. Probably about, if you're going to do fresh parsley, you want 3 tablespoons. So remember our 3-to-1 rule. If you have 3 of the fresh herb, you want 1 of the dry herb. So these are still looking pretty good. They're almost done there. I didn't set my timer for the second half, but that's fine. And then to this, we're going to add 1/3 of a cup of no-fat Greek yogurt. Now, no-fat Greek yogurt, if you eat 1 whole cup of it, it's 2 points. So we're only using 1/3 of a cup in this whole recipe. So if you ate the whole recipe, then it would be worth 2 points. But if you only eat some of the recipe, then of course it's not worth that much. So I'm just going to mix this all up, add a little bit of salt. My tuna steaks are almost done over here. You want the middle to stay pink on tuna. Oh, that smells really good. I can smell the cumin and the Hungarian paprika. All right. So I've got all that blended together. Make sure all of that's zhuzhed up. I'm going to get another cutting board out here because we're going to cut our ahi tuna into kind of planks. So I'm just going to pull this out because these are done. Kind of move around my pineapple here. And I've turned the heat off on this, so I'm just letting the pineapple kind of sit and rest. Now for my tuna, I'm just going to cut it into thin strips so I can load my tacos. So you see how it has that nice seared edge to it, but the nice pink inside. And then we're gonna get corn tortillas. So 2 corn tortillas is worth 3 points. So if you eat 4, that's 6. So I'm gonna take one of these corn tortillas. I'm gonna put in a little bit of my roasted eggplant, just for some sauce. Then I'm gonna put in a little bit of my avocado mango salsa. Let's use this. And then I'm going to put in a few strips of my tuna. And since I've never tried this before, I'm actually going to take a bite for you guys. And we'll see how I like it. I can't talk, that is so good. You taste the garlic from the roasted eggplant, but you get that freshness from the mango. Oh my gosh, it's really, really good. And then, kind of for dessert, I'm gonna try 1 piece of my pumpkin pie spice pineapple, which is really hot, so I'm hoping I'm not gonna burn myself. It kind of has the flavor of like an apple pie. Because of the pineapple, it has more of an apple-y flavor. It is so good. All of these recipes can be found actually on Weight Watchers, but there's a lot of great recipes that you can find on the Pampered Chef. So you can find all of these items on www.pamperedchef.biz/Lisa Wright, LISAWRIGHT. And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at #BarefootPC. And I hope that this inspires you to try new recipes like the tuna tacos, the ahi tuna tacos. And I hope it inspires you to see that we can multitask and we can get some exercising done, because I can really feel this in my core right now. I mean, my abs are burning. And so I can do all this at one time, and I think it's going to make weight loss easier for me. So I hope you join me on my journey, and stay tuned for the next demo. Thanks, and have a great night.